What's up, everybody? J Heat Sports Media coming at y'all again with that fire as always, spitting the hot topics and getting the sports conversation started. NBA playoffs jumps off tomorrow. My favorite time of the year, I must admit. NBA predictions coming in. That's what I wanted to really talk about. So let's get into it. All right, NBA playoffs jumping off tomorrow. Saturday, April 16th. The Eastern Conference is back, loaded, maybe more than it's ever been, and the Western Conference still got some soldiers over there too. Let's start with the West. At the 1 seed, the Phoenix Suns, they got a lot to prove. Me personally, if they face any adversity in the first 2 rounds, I might be a little bit worried because I'm rooting for Chris Paul. I want him to get to the finals and hopefully he can win it. So I'm expecting in this first round, no matter who they play between the Pelicans and the Clippers, for it to go no more than 5 games. All right, the 4-5 matchup, because Luka is facing an injury, throws a little monkey wrench in that. I would have said the Mavericks in 6. Now I think it might be possibly the Mavericks in 7 if Luka can get back by game 3. If Luka isn't back by game 3, I'll take Utah in 6. Then we moving on to the 3-6 matchup, the Warriors versus the Denver Nuggets. Jokic gonna be the league MVP in my opinion, and deservingly so, even though Joel played his tail off. Denver will be ready to go, but without Murray, without Michael Porter Jr., Jokic will do all he can and look like a phenom. That said, Steph Curry's back. The Warriors on a mission to prove that they're back. Klay has been getting better and better week by week. I think the Warriors win that one in 6, based on the fact Curry's going to play in game 1. If Curry wasn't to play in this series, I'd take Denver in probably 5 or 6. Moving on to the 2-7 matchup, Memphis is real. They ball without Ja. They are legit. They are together as a unit and well coached, but Ja is back. All that celebrating Minnesota was doing, I'm glad they got it in. They about to get swept. All right, so the Eastern Conference, like I said, loaded this year, well as we've seen it in a long time. All the way down to the 10 seed, like the West has been for years now. Feel bad for Charlotte that they weren't able to get it done. Think they a team of the future and LaMelo is a star of the future, but that's what happens. I do think that Atlanta's going to beat Cleveland tonight, but if they don't, let's say Cleveland gets by Atlanta, I'm taking Miami at the 1 seed to beat Cleveland in 5 games. If it's Trae Young and company, I think it could go 6, and it'll be an entertaining 6 for sure. Maybe even 7, but I'll stick with 6. At the 4-5 matchup, Philly versus Toronto. A lot of people think that's going to be an issue with Thibault being out when he goes to Toronto. I totally think big game James is going to show up. Don't think about the playoff woes you may or may have not have seen. First round James is going to be ready to go, and it's the Toronto Raptors. They not no scrubs, but James knows what's at stake. He's got Joel Embiid that's for sure going to show up. They'll get that done in 6, maybe 5. If it goes to 7, that would definitely shock me. The 3-6 matchup, Milwaukee, the defending champs, versus the Chicago Bulls, who look like world beaters at first. DeRozan was on pace for MVP status. They've kind of teetered off a little bit, but they still a solid squad. LaVine, DeRozan, I think they're going to show up. But Milwaukee, they've been waiting for the playoffs, in my opinion, kind of pacing themselves through the season. Giannis is arguably the best player in the world. Middleton, Holiday, they ready for this moment. I got Milwaukee in 5 against Chicago. Then the 2-7 matchup is the big one. Boston versus Brooklyn. In case you haven't noticed, Brooklyn is 12-4 in the last 16 games. 8th best defense, which they ain't been doing well all season in that stretch, on a 5-game winning streak. That said, Boston been the team since New Year's. They've been balling, arguably the best team in the league other than maybe Phoenix based on the regular season. And Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown have figured out how to play together. Their coach is coaching his tail off. They got an excellent D, and their big man should be back in this series. This is a tough matchup because Tatum has given Brooklyn 50 on multiple occasions. I see why a lot of people are going to favor Boston. I'm going with Brooklyn. I'm going with Brooklyn in 6. I think KD will step up and lead these guys. Kyrie's got a lot to prove in the Garden, and I think they'll show up regardless if Ben Simmons plays or not. And that's our first round.